So, one of the matchups for my dream season has just been revealed as the next episode. It's a shame it's the one a lot of people don't like. I totally get not liking this matchup, by the way. Matchups like Omni Man versus Bardock and Homelander versus Hancock seem really interesting and honestly way more fair. That being said, I'm still really excited for this episode. So I decided to make this short, fun video just to talk about what I want to see. Now let me just get this out of the way. This is undoubtedly a stomp for Omni Man. Homelander does not stand a ghost of a chance, and that's clear to anyone who knows anything about Invincible and the boys. So this brings up the main issue with this matchup. How will they make this a good fight while still making it believable? It's entirely possible they could just let Homelander stand his ground more than he realistically could, but that'd be really jarring if we're being honest, and would take a lot of people out of the fight. So what's my solution? Well, I think the only way to make this fight work is if they lean into the idea of this being a stomp and make it part of the battle story. You know how in Saitama vs. Popeye, Saitama is absolutely thrilled to finally find an opponent that actually challenges him? It's character development original to Death Battle, however, it's still undoubtedly in character for him and shows a great deal of understanding of his personality. This is what I'd want in Omni Man vs. Homelander. However, instead of being thrilled to finally find a real challenge, Homelander is terrified. At first, he'd be in denial, maybe thinking it's just because he isn't used to giving his all or something. But as the fight continues and he tries harder and harder, the heroic personality he plays up for the crowd gives way to absolute rage as he starts causing more and more collateral damage just to try to hurt Omni Man. All leading up to a scene where Homelander grabs Omni Man by the neck and drags him through a subway, turning countless innocent bystanders into mush that stains the walls inside the train. However, even this isn't enough. Homelander begins to totally break down, screaming at the top of his lungs that he's Homelander and he can do whatever the fuck he wants. This is when Omni Man grabs his head and begins to crush it. He plainly says, "No, you can't," before we hear a brutal crunch and Homelander's headless body falls to the ground, leaving Omni Man to ponder what he just did. This is the best way you could do this battle in my opinion. And while I could see some people being upset at Omni Man barely having to try while Homelander gives his absolute all, I don't think there's any way you can get around this being a stomp. So again, I think they should just embrace it. And that was my hopes for Omni Man vs. Homelander. I'm not going to do this for every next time, but if it's something I want, and especially something that was in my dream season, I probably will. And if you want to see that, make sure to subscribe. Ooh.